We are within range of everything that's not within our limits.
All right, boys, we back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Officially episode 22 of Within Range with your boys Dom Juan, Jared Suter, and the ear god himself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one. Some may say maybe our biggest one. We have an Arizona legend in the house, as we would call it. The man who dropped a song a day for a year.
Crazy.
Okay, we're going to get into that. He was also listed as one of the best local Arizona hip-hop artists in 2020. Okay. Just throwing some stats out. Also, too, I just learned that this man is a coach. Okay, so he's inspirational to others, helping with development, and he's got a ton of music. And we are honored and we are happy to be sitting with South Phoenix Zone's very own Deli Every Day.
Yeah. What's up, man? How y'all feeling?
We're good, man. Now that we're live, we're recording too. That's good.
That's always good.
Yeah. It's always good. We find that some of our best podcasts are the ones we record,
Always, man. Always. And Deli, seriously, man, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
We wanted you on, man, not only to share your story and your journey with us, but also to help bring ideas, inspiration, and creativity within range of all listeners, man. So for real, it's an honor, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I feel honored to be here. Appreciate you.
Sir. So let's get into it, man. We've done our homework. I would like to think that, we've done our research enough. We learned that, you wrote your first rap around 13 years old.
Here we go. Yo, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, man. So tell us about that. And, I'm sure you had musical inclinations before then. As kids, as hip-hop fans, we listened since we were kids. So just tell us kind of how it got started, man, if you could.
Yeah, it was 13. That was the first time I wrote my first rap and got into an actual recording studio. Around that time, I never really thought about doing music, but like Lil Bow Wow was like popping at the time and things
awesome.
like that. So, and my parents do like a lot of house parties, so I got to see what party music did like firsthand. So my uncle was in a rap group with him and his buddies, and they would just come through and make beats on the table and steal beats from CDs. Like back in the day, you would have to like buy a CD and it would just have like the radio version, the explicit version, and it would have like the instrumental.
Yeah.
We didn't just have
we're all familiar.
Yeah, so they used to do that, and they used to freestyle a lot. So that's how I learned was we would freestyle all the time. Like you had to be able to freestyle. That's like a lost art. Like I don't understand when somebody doesn't know how to freestyle.
Drew,
like,
can we get the class for that?
Yeah,
that
for
being
sure.
a lost art. I mean, he's right.
Yeah, you gotta it's like when you go to the gym and you play basketball, like you gotta be able to show them what you can do now. Like I gotta practice, I gotta do this. Like, no, bro, we're here. Like, let's go ahead.
Just get it, man.
So anyhow, learning how to freestyle, and my uncle was just like, man, do you wanna take it serious? Do you wanna write your first rap? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was at the Hampton Inn. It's still there to this day on like Central downtown.
Wow.
No
That
way. That's
table.
awesome. Get a studio set up in there?
No,
Or-
it was just at
or
the
that was where you
table.
were freestyling?
Yeah, like it
Wow.
was just at a table, and he helped me write the whole rap, and it just went from there. Then they kind of implemented me into their group, so I was like the little guy in their group, and then we went to the studio, and that was all she wrote. And what's crazy is that there's a guy out here named Buki. He's like one of the biggest rappers from Arizona. Like he got songs with E40 and Too Short. Like he was one of the first guys to really do something, and for him to be the first guy I ever record with and to be who I became is just like, it's super crazy like how that cycle goes. But yeah, that's where it started, man. The Hampton Inn down there at the hotel, and that's where Deli came from.
Man.
That's awesome. What was the name of your uncle's group?
It was like Trios, because it was three of them, like Trio something.
Nice.
But, yeah, they don't do music that much anymore, but they really love my music.
And they sound like Arizona legends.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Yeah, in their own way.
Yeah, okay,
In
you
their
can say
own way.
that.
But it's really, they're the ones who sparked who I am. So really, they are legendary, you know, to me. So I always got to give flowers to those guys.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Always, bro.
That's awesome.
And so who would you say early on, man? We like to talk about like who early on influenced us musically.
Yeah.
And then we also want to separate it and talk about family. But starting from music, man, like, who kind of raised you music wise, would you say?
A lot of West Coast. I'm born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. So a lot of Snoop, Corrupt, Dog Pound, DJ Quick.
Oh.
But when I went to my uncle's house on the weekend, like they're younger than my parents, so they're playing different stuff like Busta Rhymes and Twista and Bone Thugs. So I liked the real fast rap when I was younger. Like I thought that if you weren't rapping fast, like
Yeah, you were in anything.
you're not doing anything. And they convinced me of that. And then I remember getting older and starting to slow my raps down and like bring it to them. And it was like, that sucks. Like it's monotone. And I was like, what? Like that's what music is going. They're like, no, you gotta rap fast.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah.
That was when fast rapping was very skillful. You had melodic elements with Bone Thugs and Harmony. You had very technical, almost like aggressive rap bars with like Twista and whatnot.
Right.
So that was a good bar to, kind of emulate.
Yeah, it was good to have those tools in my arsenal too. So like if I do need to pull them out, like, I can.
They're there.
Yeah.
Eminem was like one of my favorites. That was
Oh, man.
like he's awesome.
If you were born in the 90s and early 2000s and you say you weren't listening to Eminem, that's hard to believe.
At some point, you were listening. There had to be one.
I use him as like rap like warm ups, like listening, trying to rap his old songs, cause like just the wordplay and like it was just
warm-ups.
like, if you can rap those songs like how he was rapping them, like that was tough, bro.
Oh,
like
dude.
that
Oh,
was
100%.
that's
Yeah.
tough.
You had to learn to control your breathing.
Yeah.
You were like running out of
Yeah.
breath. And
It's next. It was very inappropriate, but
it was.
it was. Yeah, that's a good rapping exercise. Like if you want to know where you at,
Hey,
It's awesome to warm
take
up.
notes out there, people.
yeah, rap those Eminem songs.
Oh yeah, man. So, when you were at Cesar Chavez, did your
Man,
did your did your rap career, is that, because in high school is when you start to becoming your own, you start to kind of figure out what scene you're in, who you're hanging out with. I'm sure at that point your skills had excelled, by the time you were growing up. So how was it in high school for you with the music?
During that time, I thought that you had to have like rap beef. Like you had to be dissing
Dang.
somebody. You had to be like, it had to be a battle, like. Cause it was that era, like Get Rich or Die Trying was.
I was
like,
just about to say
things like
50.
that. So that's what it was about. So I was just the guy, like we would have battles at school. I was just eating people alive. Like, in the locker rooms, we would have battles. I would eat people alive. On the bus, on the way to games. Then when we got to the other schools, people who rapped there, we eating them alive.
Let's
Like,
go.
And then I was always
Meals
like,
on wheels, dude. You
Yeah,
were serving
bro.
them up, man.
it was crazy. And then I was always like ahead of my time. So like I was figuring out how to record and like put it on CDs, and I was like selling CDs. So I was like the first dude out there with like a mixtape in high school. Like we was getting after it, man. Like we were so far ahead and we didn't even realize. But yeah, that's what high school was like. I was known as that dude who rapped, Deli the Rapper.
Man, Deli the Rapper.
Yeah.
Listen, and that's just with the music, because I wanted to ask, you played ball, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you guys win a ship when you were there?
No, man, they still haven't won a ship to this day, man. I think it was a lot to do with our coaching staff. Shout out Coach Lee, like he taught us a lot, but we were so talented. We always get a lot of talent in South Phoenix, but we lack discipline. So like practices weren't structured properly, and I know this now because I am a basketball coach. So it wasn't structured properly. Like it was just a lot of scrimmaging and just go ahead and be amazing like you guys are. But then when you play schools like Chandler and things, and they were watching film, and they're like, "Oh, we got your number." Like, so playoffs came and we just couldn't thrive.
Man, because there was an interview you had where you were, I think it was for the 2K when you were getting interviewed, and I thought I saw like a Cesar Chavez like championship.
Like Metro region, like yeah, we were in our region all the time. That's
Oh,
cool.
okay,
Like,
okay. But
kudos for second place.
listen,
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
like participation trophies, all right?
None of that.
We had Ty Washington.
No, we did not.
Just
Oh,
went to the
really?
league too. Yeah.
Yeah,
like, and we
I
still
know about
didn't.
Ty-Ty. Wow.
Dang.
Man, a lot of good basketball players that come out of Arizona, and a lot that have come here. I know like Byron Scott went to Arizona State when he was younger. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've had James Harden.
Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson from U of A.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton went to U of A.
Yeah.
Lot of big names. Speaking of James Harden, I just mentioned the boy's name.
Yeah.
I guess you've had some run-ins with the beard.
Yeah, man. Shout out James Harden. I don't know if it was. I'm not really good with time. Probably a year out of high school, maybe 2. Me and my boys would always go to ASU and just go to the rec center. And I think it was the year before he was going to go there, so he was kind of like just hanging out with Ty Abbott and a couple of those guys. And I'm young, I'm arrogant, like I think I'm doing something. I just got good. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't that good in high school, but like once I got out of high school, I blossomed. So I'm like, I'm the man, so let's go. And my boys, they're researching who the top high school guy. I don't care. I'm just like, let's hoop. And they're like, bro, like, do you know who that is? I'm like, I don't care who that is. They're like, that's
Let's
James
go.
Harden, bro. Like that's one of the best players.
I love the competitive spirit.
And I'm like, I don't care. Like, check up, let's do it. So we were going at it, man. And then we had like a little dunk contest after that. And then we hung out afterwards. Wait, what? Yeah.
Dunk
With
contest with
James
James Harden with a beard?
Yeah, he didn't have a beard then.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
That was
I know.
pre-beard. That was pre-beard, James.
It
Harden.
was just because after basketball players, what they do after the game, like everybody wanted to show like, I can dunk, I can do this. So it's just like, okay, you do one, I'll one up you. And then so
go.
that's how it kind of went.
Yeah.
Then after that, we were just hanging around campus. There was like some parties going on, but yeah. And then I ran into him recently at a club. He had the beard.
Yeah.
He had a lot of security.
Was Lil Baby with him?
Nah,
They were not
it
shopping?
It wasn't as pleasant as it was,
That's
back
a
in
good
the
one,
day.
Jared.
But shout out James Harden, man. Yeah, those are my James Harden stories.
Man.
That's awesome. Wow. Dunk contest with Harden. That's insane.
How
dude.
many people
How
could say
you-
that?
I don't know. 0.5% in the world. In the
I
country.
felt bad, like when I found out who he was, I was like, I was way out of my league. I was way out.
Shoot or shoot, man. You took your shot, dude. You went for it.
100%, man. You said, hey, you came to ball, so did I.
Right,
You know?
absolutely.
Man, that's incredible. Well, also too, we understand that besides basketball, you're quite the bowler.
Wow, here we go.
Is
Here
it?
we go. Absolutely, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm well, I haven't done it in a while, but like as a youth, I'll say 7 till about 14. So I'll say 7 years.
Oh man, okay.
That's more time than I put in, man.
I was, because it's big in my family, you know. My dad's side, my grandfather, rest in peace. My grandmother, my uncles, my dad. Like it was just a big thing, and I'm like obsessive. And I like to be the best at things that I like. So yeah, I was like a young phenomenon, like, and I was African American too, so it wasn't like a prominent thing for African Americans to do that. So I was like bowling with the pros. I was beating them. I had like a 279 at like 13.
Oh my God.
But like the thing about my 279 was they had like Cosmic Bowl in our league like every once in a blue moon. So all the lights and stuff were off. And I did it when it was like that. It wasn't even regular. So they're like, you did it and the lights were off. Like,
Hey,
this
listen.
kid-
No, hold on. That should be even harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can't see the
It's
gutter line is defined.
1000%
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
So it was just. But I was my grandparent or my grandmother. She worked at the bowling alley, so I would get like free food.
Oh wow.
There's this time where I bowled like 30 games straight, and they had to literally. I'm not capping. Like they literally had to come down and was like, "Hey, that's enough. Like you've done like my
You
fingers
bowled
would be
enough."
swollen. Like
For real, dude.
I was nice. I was nice. I had scholarships and things like that. But then when I got to high school, they didn't offer bowling. Like, so it was like, what are you gonna do? So I just played basketball.
Man.
So.
But
and then-
had you always played basketball too, or did that just
Yeah,
kind of pick
yeah.
up
But
more?
I would just do bowling like on the weekends and during the summer times, like when I went with my dad. But
Wow.
other times it was basketball.
You gonna get in there, start coaching a bowling team there, set it up?
Hey.
No, I'm
Get-
actually
get 'em
gonna
together?
start bowling again like in the next year or so, and I'm gonna try to go pro.
That's
Just
awesome.
something to do like
Whoa.
as I get older, like you know.
Yeah.
That's
Bro,
awesome.
What a
Hey,
goal.
I see it on ESPN
Yeah.
too. Like it's like a Saturday,
So-
Sunday morning ESPN2. What is it? The PB?
PBA.
PBA.
Funny thing is, and this is crazy, and people gonna think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm totally not lying. So when I was a kid, I was really smart, and when you do the 365. When you do something so much, like you try to figure out new ways to do it and like innovative ways, and I was always like that. So one thing I learned, like if I take my thumb out of the ball, I can crank it more and it would give it more spin, right?
No way.
So I would bowl with 2 hands, and when I would go to the tournaments, they would be like, hey, he can't bowl like that. Like, we'll disqualify him if he does that. He has to stick his finger in the ball. And I'm like, but this is how I bowl. So it was a big old issue, right?
Haters.
Really?
Now, years later, if you look at the pros, like 50% of them bowl without their finger in the ball, and it's totally legal. And I
That's
was the first person to, I swear, bro, if you
Round
want,
of
you can
applause.
turn it right now. The best bowlers, they take their thumb out and they crank it like, and I invented that. That's all I want to say.
Wow,
Man.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
incredible, dude. Pioneer. An
That's
innovator.
crazy, yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
That's my bowling story.
Wow. That was better than I could have imagined.
Man.
That's
Well,
so awesome.
if-
I don't
Right.
talk a lot, so like people don't really know. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
That's
well,
incredible.
We heard that. So you mind sharing where the scholarships were offered from?
It's
Naming?
just like when you win the tournaments, like they just have it for you, and then when you turn or whatever college you decide
just
to
there?
go to.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
So,
So you were just stacking those up?
yeah, but I just never went to college like right away, so I don't know what happened with all of that stuff. But it's there. Like I got all the trophies and everything, and the bowling balls, like to prove it.
That's
Man.
so awesome. Dunk contest with Harden and a bowling champion. Are you
Come on
kidding
now.
me? Decorated bowler? Get out of here.
Can't make that up. I remember the first time I walked into like where the ASU where all the like lunches were, and I was
Devil's
like,
Den or something?
yeah, I was like, there's a bowling alley. In
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I saw it too.
yeah.
I was like, I should have went to ASU.
Yeah, I was like, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember I texted like some of my buddies from back home. Drew,
Yeah.
you made even one. I was like, bro, there's a bowling alley in my school.
It was like when you came by the Burger King there and then you like looped around in
Yes.
there. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
100%.
That's awesome.
Man, I wish when I visited you when you were going to ASU that we would have went there.
We were doing other things too, though.
Oh, yeah.
we were doing some other things.
I didn't even go there. We were just
College
hanging out.
boy
'cause we
shit, you
knew
know.
Stuff happened.
Yeah, that's so much. That's
Yeah.
half the people
Yeah.
you see at ASU sometimes are like that, dude. I mean,
Just
like in our
hanging out.
apartment complex, we lived at one, the Domain at the time, and
Yeah.
I mean, half the guys I hung out with would just come in, hang out
Yep.
there, and then dip. Yeah,
Never went to class,
That's awesome.
you know.
Well, go to class, kids,
Yeah.
but like the environment and the experiences were awesome.
yes, exactly. Just balance it a little better.
All right. Well, another thing that I read is that early on, people compared your style to what some would call the GOAT, which is Wayne. I kind of saw that in some of the things I looked up, and Wayne raised me. We talked about, you know, inspirational people, music, you know, that inspire you music wise, and you know, anyone that grew up in our generation, I think would say Wayne is.
Yeah.
If you weren't listening to Wayne,
there.
like what were you? Who were you listening to at that time? I mean, how did that make you feel? And you've heard that before, right? Have people?
Yeah, definitely. And I pride myself on, you know, not necessarily sounding like him, but definitely taking aspects of his art and the influence. Like, he's crazy, man. Like, I listen to stuff today that I've heard back then, and I still barely get the, like, punchlines. It's like, I've listened to this song for 10 years, bro, and I just got that.
Yeah.
Still getting nuggets. Yeah,
And
What
it's
was-
so simple.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dom sent me a video of Wayne. He's got so many, he doesn't even remember some of the big ones, right? He didn't
Yeah.
remember.
Better wear
the
a latex because you don't want that
like,
latex
come
that
on,
I
bro.
think
I'm
bro.
late. He's
Are
like,
you
I wrote.
kidding?
He's like, what I say? And he's like, what? People
I
people
said that?
quote that. There's memes with that. Like, are you
That's
kidding
hard.
me, dude? Like, that's an all-time line right there.
Yeah, facts.
Doesn't even remember it.
Syrup is a heavy drug.
Yes, so.
Yeah,
Yes, so.
that's the truth.
So, yeah, a lot of Wayne for sure.
Yeah. So besides music wise, you know, we know inspirational people can come from family members, from coaches,
Yeah.
from teachers. I know, you know, we can all say that there's some people like that that influenced us. Who were some of those people for you?
Definitely early on, my uncles with like the music and things like that. As I got older, definitely one of my best friends from high school, Darius. He's from California, and he was just built different, man. He was all about like diligence and discipline and dedication, like the 3Ds, like that's what he was on. Like he was already talking about going D1 colleges. Like he taught me like you put in the work. Like we were going to the YMCA after school, shooting 5 to 1,000 jumpers a day, like missing out on prom and things like that to go work in our games. So like he really was like one of those dudes that told me like if there's something you don't know, like you can go to the library, like go to the source and you can figure it out.
Wow.
So with that, shout out my dog. So with that, it brought me into the realm of like educating myself, and I learned about like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and different people like that. So
Speaking
like,
Jared's language right now.
yeah, bro.
Dude, Tony
So-
Robbins in particular he's one of my guys for sure. I got a few, but he's up there, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so like just venturing off into those type of people, Eric Thomas, obviously, they really helped me develop my professionalism. And then I started working at a school, and one of my mentors, my boss Samuel Wright, he really saw something in me, and he helped develop me professionally as well, send me through different trainings and things, CPI courses and things like that. So my life really has shaped like that. So those are like my mentors and people like that. Yeah, so I have online mentors, people who I haven't met, and then people who I consult with on a day-to-day.
Dude, that's awesome. You have a support network. Like a lot of people don't have that. It's like it might be an airy fairy term, but you have a support network, and that's cool. I would imagine that lets you do things like have the discipline to make a song every day for a year.
No doubt.
For example.
No doubt.
1,000%, man.
That's incredible.
Man.
And I respect that you actually lean into it as well, because some people just have it, but they never utilize it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Sometimes I think early on I didn't know how to lean into it and utilize them, and I probably took it for granted. But nowadays it's just like, man, they really installed a lot of values and presented a lot of opportunities to help me develop. And a lot of people don't have these skills, and I'm noticing that. Like even when I'm around my day-to-day family, they're like, "You're just so smart. You're so." It's just like
Gifted.
I'm just chilling.
You're just you.
yeah, just me, man. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So your first concert ever was the Yeezus tour at the Phoenix Suns Stadium.
Yep.
I wanted to ask about that because I remember that time. It was like 2013, and I didn't get to go. I did go to The Life of Pablo, which was the album after that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I remember seeing the videos where Kanye, the crowd was pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
He's rapping on like a pyramid with a beam shining down from it. And I just remember, and maybe I was under the little influence when I was watching these videos, but I was like, that looked like the ultimate experience. Was that, am I right in saying it was?
1,000%.
Okay.
As advertised, yeah.
Yo, listen, man.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy Sunil, man. He always looks out. Another mentor of mine. Anytime I'm feeling down, he'll just call me like, "Hey, man, you going to the Kendrick show?" I'm like, "I don't got tickets." He's like, "But I do." So like, he's just that guy. Like, he's just because he believes in me. He's just like, you need to see this type of stuff. So that's what happened with the Yeezus show. He's like, "You going to the Yeezus show?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, you are. I'm on the way." And I'm like, what?
Oh,
I'm
my.
like, Kendrick's gonna be there, you know that? He's like, yeah, but he's gonna be on later. I won't forgive him for this, but I will. So we get to the show late because he's like, they never show up on time. Kendrick is
True.
walking off stage, bro. He started on time.
Oh, yeah, because he opened for Kanye back then.
He started
yeah,
on time, so I missed it. So I'm looking at him like, bro. He's like, it's okay. So yeah, Kanye comes, man, and this is my first show ever. It's my first experience, and it is the greatest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, the album made no sense to me until I saw that. It's like, oh, this is not an album, it's a movie. And until you watch it with the aesthetics, with it, oh my God, bro. I still have never, I saw Drake versus Wayne.
Oh,
It was not like
you
that.
saw
You
that?
were at that tour?
Bro, I saw
I was
J.
at that
Cole,
tour as well.
Bro, I saw J. Cole For Your Eyes. I saw J. Cole KOD.
Whoa.
It was not
Whoa.
Yeezus.
Still, what didn't he compare?
No, not
For real.
even- Come on, man.
Bro.
Like,
Dang, my brothers went to that Wayne versus Drake thing. That was
was
crazy.
awesome.
The video was nuts. But yeah,
It was
I can see
awesome.
it. Not a full like cinematic production.
Kanye
yeah.
is different with that. Like, I don't say what you want about him, but that was amazing. I was looking up tour dates after that date to see if I can catch it somewhere else because it was like trying to go to the movies. And
Is he
see a
going to
movie
LA
again.
after?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get tickets
Bro.
again.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Speaking of Kanye and speaking of people you might have stories about that you mentioned,
Yeah.
Virgil. You said
Virgil,
you might have one.
Oh man, this is crazy. So I was in a movie called The System. And I wasn't supposed to be in a main role, but I showed up that day. I was an extra, and cars are in my favor. It's like a big storm, so the main character, he's like, man, I can't make it. So the director's like, hey, you look more like the co-character's cousin than the guy Cassidy. Can you act? Of course I can.
Matthew
You got a
McConaughey style.
question?
Yes, I can.
Say,
all right.
Like, tell me what you need me to do. So I did it. You know, I nailed it. The movie was pretty good. It showed in Harkins around the country. We had a premiere in L.A. LA goes really well. This is like 2 years later. I'm talking to the director. Shout out iRock, man. He just put me in another movie that comes out on the 23rd of this month.
Oh my God.
We're saying what a movie star?
Sleeping on this.
Unhitched King, go check that out. That's a
Bruh.
shameless plug.
We got a
But
movie star in the building.
Let's
Coach,
anyhow,
entertainer.
he calls me one day and he's just, I don't even know why he told me this story. I think he knew I needed some inspiration, and Virgil had just passed. Granted, like, it was crazy. So he goes, yeah, man, that night of the premiere in LA, there's this guy and this young lady, and they were looking for a movie to see. They said they're looking for independent films. And he was like, I didn't know who he was, but I was like, hey, man, my movie's showing tonight. He's like, I gave him 2 tickets. And when the premiere started, they came and they sat right next to me, and they saw the movie. So then got my email, whatever. This is the director. He's like, got my email. The next day, they're like, hey, that main character guy, like, we really like him. Like, he looks like a young Michael Jackson. Like, can we fly him out to Paris and do some things with him, right? So he's like, yeah, like, who are you? And then he looks at the email, and it's Virgil.
Oh
So
my God.
he flies my co-character. Shout out my guy Prince. He can say the story now. And he did like this. It was supposed to be like a Michael Jackson, like something The Wiz or something for like Louis Vuitton. So they flew him out, and he did that, and it's like, he has like a little statue or whatever, and that was that. So Virgil saw my movie at the premiere in LA.
No way.
That's incredible, dude. Wow. Goosebumps on that one, honestly.
So,
That's incredible,
Rest
man.
in peace, Virgil, man. Yeah, that's my Virgil story.
Wow. I'm
Damn.
blown away. I need a moment. I need a moment after that one, man.
Listen. So the movies, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Was acting something that you thought of, or was this something that you were like, I'm gonna give this a shot?
Absolutely not. Like, so for me, me and my friends, like, we watch a lot of movies, and like part of us hanging out is just like, if we say something and it reminds you of a movie, you just say the movie line and like we laugh about it. So
We do the same.
right, like, so we
All
acted
the
out
time.
like and if you ever meet my parents, they're just very charismatic people, and if they ever tell you a story, like, you'll feel like you're there. Like,
Oh damn.
since a young age, like, whether they over exaggerate, like, they do a really good job telling the story. So I think just those different things like entwine with each other. I just tried it that one time, and I used to always do like little films, like little short films on my own, like in MySpace days and things like that. I've always just tried to create things. So I think I'm just naturally gifted with it because I put in like work in it, but not probably like targeted work. But it was just
Almost
what I
like
to do.
nonchalantly over time, you've
Yeah,
cultivated like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
So that's and I'm just taking the opportunities. Like I said, iRock Daniels, man, like, he always looks out for me. He doesn't have to. Even this next movie, like, my role isn't as big, but he was just like, I had to find a way to write you into this movie. Like, I had to. So shout out to that guy, man.
That's crazy, man. That's got to feel good. I mean, that's crazy flattering.
It keeps my spirit alive. Funny story about him is him and my mom, they were raised in the same house. So like, as a kid, he was raised in this house in South Phoenix, and then him and his family moved out. And then my mom moved in with my grandmother as a kid, and she was raised in that exact same house.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So they didn't figure that out till we went to the movie premiere of The System.
No way.
No.
And it was just like,
What?
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like,
Yeah, man. What a sign.
I can't make
dude.
this stuff up, bro. Like, this is like how my life.
Drew, drop the bomb.
Yeah.
Give us that. I mean,
Yeah,
I just feel like we keep getting gems after gems
Dude.
with this.
I like you guys. So
Appreciate it, man.
that's
Appreciate
really
it.
what it is, bro. Like, I
These
like
stories
you
are
guys.
incredible, man.
you.
Unbelievable.
Dude.
We got interactions with Virgil, James Harden, movie star, getting reached out to you to get recruited in the next one. This man,
Yeah.
he's
Virgil?
about to get back into the bowling tour.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm freaking out over here.
Dude,
and
boom,
we're
boom, boom,
dude,
boom.
yeah. Dude, come on. Yeah, kudos, man.
And,
Unbelievable.
I'll give you a free one. I don't know if you have it there, but Gary V follows me on Instagram.
I have written down that Gary Vee is a mentor to you, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay, all right.
But he
Wait,
follows
he
you.
follows you?
He follows
Yeah,
you?
He messaged me after the 365.
And what?
Oh, that's right, because that was his. Because
It
that's
was
what
his
Gary
idea.
Vee was the one that he's like. There's gonna be a rapper that goes out and makes a song every single day for 365 days.
Yeah, and that
in his
was
Gary
me.
Vee voice. He's like, there's gonna be a guy that's gonna go out here and then he's gonna put those songs on an Alexa because voice first. That's what he's always
But
preaching.
he did not cuss enough. There would have been like 3 F-bombs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna say that.
But yeah, no, he did that, and then you went and
I
did
love
that. Absolutely.
Gary Vee, man. Absolutely.
What was that message about? If you can share.
It was just basically saying like, man, like I'm super proud of you. Like glad that you saw it through, and he followed me. I got to go to New York, so whenever I go, I'm gonna just hit him up. Like, what's up, bro?
No big
Dude,
deal.
Just
Just
tell
hit
it
up
every
Gary.
day. Remember me?
He's a real guy. Like, yeah.
Oh, he is. He is. Absolutely.
bro.
No,
Smart
he's
guy.
there.
That's
But bro,
my guy.
he's so motivational. I mean, I don't. Almost everyone I know follows him.
Oh,
you
100%.
know?
No, who doesn't know? If you don't know who Gary Vee is, you're not trying to do anything.
You're not
That's
trying
kind
to
of my
do
guess. You're probably
100%.
not trying to do anything. Even if he's not your style,
Right,
you know
correct.
who he is.
But my parents cuss a lot, so it was just right up my alley. Like,
You felt at home.
Hey, you know,
I
you
get
know
him.
who,
I get him.
You know who cusses more than I thought, and it really endears me to him because he could be a little weird otherwise. Is Tony Robbins when
Wow.
that giant
Oh, does
man?
he?
Oh,
Yeah.
like if you watch some of the videos, like
He's
his
a big
Netflix
dude.
movie, like
Okay.
he's in there when he's at his events.
Yeah.
he's dropping get that fucking thing out of your life, like
Really?
And dude, and he's a giant man
Yeah,
too, so he's got this
absolutely.
booming voice. And there's a scene where he I mean, it sounds mean, but he could tell this woman's not in a relationship that she wants to be in. He
Right.
makes her break up on the spot, and he's like, "No, don't deal with the fucking bullshit." And I was just like, "Tony," but it's so impactful because he doesn't do as much. But like, yeah, I don't trust people that don't swear. So
Yeah,
Hey,
bro.
unless
Good
it's a
point.
grandma or grandpa, there's exceptions.
Hey, but
to
even
that,
then,
but
though,
day
even
to day,
then,
yeah,
they'll drop some every now and again.
That's funny.
Even Granny's got to drop a kick his ass, Sonny, every now and then, you know.
1000%. 1000%.
Wow. So Deli,
What up?
Deli, I have an observation for you.
Yeah.
It seems to me that you're always presented with these different opportunities or these little nuggets, and you seem to be one of very few people that are cognizant and aware enough of that's happening, and you actually go and try it out. Is that something that you could say is a fair assessment?
1000%. 1000%.
It's like you just stay ready.
Because I
and
noticed
open
just
go for it. Jim.
yeah, because I've noticed I have a few friends that just have this incredible luck of being in the right position at the right time, but a lot of it really has to do with just constantly searching for something or constantly being curious to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and then all of a sudden when you're presented with an opportunity you wouldn't expect it, you try it out just to see what happens, and a lot of time you're not really thinking about it too much, so when it actually happens it usually plays out more in your favor than against you.
Yeah, so to elaborate on that, that's special. Because in situations where like if it's like a contest or like besides the 2K, like anything before that, like I tried out for America's Got Talent, I tried out for X Factor, like
What?
anything that's like a contest or something like that, I never win. Like I never win, but like the things that I just stick to my guns and I just stay diligent, and I stay consistent, like I get different opportunities. But when I do get them, yeah, I absolutely capitalize on them and try to make the best out of them.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't like get contacted by like record labels, like all the things that you would think. Like I'm the guy that has to be in the trenches. Like I have to go.
Gotta go get it, yeah.
Yeah. So now that I'm older, I'm okay with that. When I was younger, it was more so like irritating. Like I'm doing this, but now it's like I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So
Yeah, when you see the magnitude of the work required to really do anything
Right.
in any area of your life, it's
right.
yeah. You want
So yeah, Drew, you're right.
Man. Good observation.
yeah, I
Drew.
love that, Drew.
Well, I just mentioned it with Gary Vee, so before we really hit the music, we definitely want to get into the 365 experience.
Yeah.
I have like a few questions of my own. I'm sure these guys do too, but my question is: so was the Gary Vee, was that the main inspiration for that, or was there other things behind that as well?
He was the one who reignited the idea. I had it maybe like a year or two prior. After like losing this rap battle, like it like really like shattered my ego, and I was just like, I don't ever want to feel that again. So I'm gonna do what I have to do every single day, like whether it's rapping, freestyling, whatever it is. Like I will never feel that feeling ever again.
Wow.
So it started out as me freestyling every day. So I was like, I'm gonna put up a video on YouTube every day just freestyling. Like it was called Deli 365. But then one of my friends from high school, I was still fragile during this time. Like ego wise, and he was just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna just do this every day, like until something happens." And he's like, "That's stupid."
Dang.
That's stupid. Like, why are you like? And it hurt me. And I was like, "Oh, like."
Because this one of your close boys,
Yeah.
right?
Right, and
I
I'm
mean,
like, maybe he's right. Like, and I wasn't stellar at that time. Like, I had just went through a super hard loss, so I was just susceptible to anything at that point. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. So then years later, found Gary V, and I had already been like a student of his, but then like a year later when he met with Nipsey Hussle and talked to him about that, I was just like, yo, like he's talking to me, like I'm that guy. Like I've done this so much, like I can record really fast, I can record at a high quality, like I'm the guy. Like so
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
after that point, I'm like, yo, he's talking to me, so like let's do it. And that was it.
Man. And another question I had about the 365 experience, you know, and I don't know at what point that you may have felt one way or another, but at any point did you feel like it was getting harder, or did you feel like it was getting easier as you went along?
It was definitely getting harder.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely getting harder. At the start, you're excited. Like you're excited, like, but everybody is not as excited as you are. For one, they don't understand even what you're about to do. Two, they probably don't care. Three, they probably don't even think that you can do it. So it's just like they're not as excited, and it took a long time for people to get excited. So for me, it was just like, man, I'm really giving you guys like my day-to-day life. Like I'm really struggling to do this. Like I'm working a lot. Like I have a child. Like all these different things. Like I'm making my own artwork. Like I'm going on tours. I'm shooting movies. Like I'm really fighting to keep this thing alive. And if to me, it feels like you guys don't care. Like you don't appreciate it. So it definitely got harder.
Man.
Definitely got harder. And then just having to come up with new concepts. Like it's only so
Yep.
much that you can say, right?
Yep, 100%. Yep.
So that's where I started singing and doing different things like that and trying things out, like the bowling thing. Like I've done it so much, now I have to try something innovative. And some of those songs had 2 and 3 songs attached to them. They weren't just one song. So it was a lot, and it was just trying to challenge myself. Anytime you're challenging yourself, it should be hard.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. We
It
wouldn't
was
want
the
it any
hardest
other
thing.
way.
It was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
Yeah.
That's all I always tell people. Like, it's just as hard as you think it would be.
Was there any point where you were like, you questioned if you could finish it out of the way?
Nah, but I had dreams about it. I developed.
Subconsciously, you're
Yeah,
believing that.
I would
but
have nightmares, bro. I
really, no.
developed anxiety after that. Yeah, I would think that like I would forget to drop the song or put it out, and I would like wake up like, oh my god, like
Wow. That's real.
so,
Can't let Gary down.
bro. Yeah, but it was never a point where I thought like, nah, I'm not gonna finish this. And then after a certain point, it's just like, you have to, like, at what point at song 100, this is like,
Right.
what do
Yeah,
you
you're
do?
gonna turn
Like
around
you
now?
dropped 100 songs, bro. Like what do you do?
What a milestone that is.
crazy.
What
That's
does
crazy.
the next day look like
Yeah.
if you don't drop that song?
Wow.
So, and this is public. This isn't like a private thing I did with my friends. Like I'm putting my name and my reputation on the line, bro. Like
Man.
ultimate humility.
That's not skipping a gym day. That's in front of people. That means something. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's where I'm at.
Wow. Man, and I feel like, you know, we've had other artists on here, other Arizona artists, and I feel like one theme, and Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, that I get from a lot of y'all, I would say if I had to group, is like, man, grit. You know what I mean? Arizona, just, you know, and another question I'm going to get into is, you know, like how you feel about the Arizona hip hop scene and just music in general. But a lot of the artists we've had on this platform, I feel like they have that. Something about the Arizona, whether it's the desert, the environment, you know, it's like you guys keep striving to, when you set goals, you really want to hit them, man. And how do you feel about the Arizona hip hop scene today, more or less?
Yeah, I think that comes from just people not believing or, you know, respecting in what we're doing. And we're getting better, man. We're getting our own identity. We're getting more creative. You know, we're getting more opportunities. There are times out here where, and I just heard about this, where like you couldn't even perform rap inside certain venues and things like that out here. So it's like, you know, coming from that, we're just really ready. Like we're not taking no for an answer. And we have big artists out here who have done big things, like huge, massive things, to where if we were in California, they would be major.
Yes.
And me traveling to California, recently I talked to some people in the industry, and basically they're saying like in LA the way things work is if you do one big thing, another opportunity is gonna come. Like here goes one. You do that, you succeed. Oh, here goes another one. Out here it's not like that. It's like I can drop a song a day for a whole year. You would think something would be like
Would come from that.
but it's just, so I think having that, we know like we have to work harder than, everybody else. And as far as how I see Arizona now and the scene is, it's in good shape. We have a lot of good people in their own lanes. I think we can fill each lane in the music industry with at least one artist, so that's saying a lot.
A lot of talent here.
Yeah, these
lot
younger
of talent.
guys, man. These younger guys are really doing their thing. They're not taking no for an answer.
Yep.
They're doing it their way, and I just think it's a matter of time. Definitely, I love the state of Arizona hip hop. Like, yeah, there's some negative stuff that's everywhere. And
Correct.
the people who
Absolutely.
are really trying to do something and really make impact. Like, we all have an understanding. We all talk like we know what it is. So it's none of that bickering and things like that from the cream of the crop, so to speak.
I respect that you talked about earlier, but I think you said it indirectly. One of the things that I think a lot of local artists don't do, and this is, I feel like, what prevents them from actually being successful as like one factor of it, is traveling. So the fact that you were able to go to LA, talk to other people of how they operate on like, whether if it's a bigger scale or just, on the ladder, you have to start kind of figuring out how the machine works, and then how do you play it into your own favor. So the fact that you were able to travel, be able to communicate with these different people, be able to take those things home and apply it to your own space and your own self, I feel like that's really respectable.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for me, like I said, a research-based person. So like if you can show me any type of information or any type of different perspective, I can win with that. Like, that's ammo for me. So that's what I am. Like, even in those rooms, like, I'm not in there bragging on my accolades and telling them who I am. And it's typically me not saying much and just listening, know. So I definitely understand that concept.
That's awesome, man. I'm a research guy myself.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like,
Yep.
my dad always taught me, and I hated school, and I did go to college, but I had an awful GPA. I barely made it through. Like, it was a struggle for me, and I walked around thinking I was stupid. I mean, honestly.
Wow.
And all of a sudden I just realized I kind of had that thing. I was like, I started to love learning, where it was just like, oh, this is like a huge weapon in my life.
1000%.
And all of a sudden it just builds on itself. And it's like, now, like, I kind of have a thing with my friend circle. Like, I know weird random facts about all kinds of stuff. And they're like, Jared knows everything. I'm like, well, no, but
Right. So much
you watch
more.
enough TV, Google enough things, and watch enough, old Joe Rogan videos, you'll get enough knowledge crammed in there, man.
It's out
But
there, man. Use it.
100%, and it's at our fingertips more than ever. Like, I think about that all the time with like our parents and stuff. Like,
Oh,
when they want to
man.
learn something, they had like
Encyclopedia.
one source. Yeah, they'd go to an encyclopedia, and you were completely limited to like that description of the activity or thing.
Now I'm
you
my
imagine that?
parents' encyclopedia. Like, they just come to me. They don't even try. Like,
No, hey Siri, hey Deli,
you're not even trying.
hey Deli, what's the biggest lake on Earth?
And I always say, I don't know, but here, let me find out.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
get it
See,
for
but that's
you.
a power
Yeah.
too. So my dad, whenever one of the things I think what helped me on that was when I didn't know a word, he would
Yeah.
never tell me. He'd be like, "Go look it up," and I had to go
Oh.
look it up in the dictionary. And so
Yeah.
I'm like that now. It's like when I don't know something,
Yeah.
I stop and I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Now I know.
And it's just like, yeah, and you just like you just add those feathers to the cat, man. So that's cool.
awesome.
So let's get into the music. Again, we got some music to go over. I just personally would like to start with the first song I ever heard Deli on, which was "Curve It" with Cat Peasy. And within the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it was a vibe already. And then Cat Peasy comes on, does his thing,
Kills that.
and then there's a second part of that song. And I said right away, I was like, Jared, did I call you or did I text you?
I think this was a call. I think this one was a call, and that is usually like Jersey songs, maybe like a Hove,
A Future.
yeah, Future, a new Future.
You'll get a
one.
text.
I'll get a text here and there, but no, the calls are
Wow.
rare. And he told me, he's like, yo, you need to check this one out, and because it was Arizona, had just kind of really started this journey, and he just like we were just so fired up.
Dude.
Wow.
So yeah, from the time I heard it, I mean, it stopped me in my tracks. Called Jared, talked to him about it. But when I had reached out to you originally, when I DM'd you, I think I mentioned, I said, hey man, like, you know, big fans of you. You know, one of the songs that got me was Curve It, and you were like, actually, there's a crazy story about that, how
Yeah.
that song was made.
Yeah. That's, for one, people don't pick that song. Like, when people hit me up and say like, oh, I love this song, like, you guys were the first. So
No
like,
way, dude.
Bro,
that song. I mean, that song is a
Man.
slap, dude. I mean, the song's incredible, and
It's an all-around
there's obviously
good song.
deep stuff going on there too. But
yeah, so basically in that song, it was basically talking about the night when I lost a close friend of mine, one that I consider a brother, and a cousin of mine on the same night. And I actually knew the individual who did it. Like, I went to school with them. So it was just like, for me, it was a perspective. Like, for one, yes, a loss. It's a loss on both sides. Like, they lost a son. We lost family as well, looking back on it. And it was just a moment that really, like, stood out to me. Like, that was probably the first time I ever witnessed something like that traumatic. Not saying I was there, but, like, just the whole scenario.
Yeah.
And it was just me telling my side of what I felt, and I had carried it with me for so long. I would always like rap about it or touch on it, but that was just me like declaring like, not necessarily it's time to move on, but like I can't let this situation hold me anymore. So that was actually like my last time actually rapping about it was on that. But yeah, it's definitely a true story, tragedy on, you know, all parties. But yeah, that shocked me that you guys picked that verse. But yeah, it is a great verse.
I tried my luck to be perfect. The only thing perfect is timing, bro.
Man,
And
you hitting on that one, too.
after like going through your catalog, that was one of like, I felt like your songs that I heard where I was like, oh, he's kind of like singing on this.
Yeah.
But man, you switched your flow up 3 different times.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's just me trying to keep the listener interested. I used to do it like every 4 bars, but like, yeah, it's just a little trick I use.
you switch it up when you talk about the incident in that song too, right? When you go in that,
Yeah.
I lost my mind.
I think
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
lost my mind the
Oh.
same night. Yeah, man.
That was
just
the part
some
that hits, 'cause it's
Jared,
like, yeah.
you pointed those lines out early.
Dude, but great song all around.
Yeah.
You kill that.
Dude,
Cat
thank
Peasy
you.
kills that one.
Thank you. How did you guys hear that song?
So
That
go ahead.
was I think I remember. Well, that was yours. You go. It was
No,
through
no, no.
Voss, right? Because so I think Voss produced, or no, actually no. Voss had a song with Cat Peasy. We Dom heard Cap and was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Followed that rabbit hole, and then I think boom, heard that, and then
Yeah.
I was just
here
on
we
a,
are with you.
Yeah, for real. I was on it. Yeah, I heard Cat Peasy again. I think it was Pain Drippin' or one of his songs, but I heard
Yes.
Curve It,
Yeah,
and I was like, Jared,
yes,
this
Pain
is
Drippin' too.
Pain Drippin' was good,
Yeah.
but I heard Curve It, and I was like, dude, this is the one. And then the way you come in on that, the way you switch up your flow, and now the backstory we had behind the lyrics, man, amazing song.
Yeah, shout out Cap Peasy, man, for that opportunity. A lot of people don't know he was actually on 2K first.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
he
Yeah,
was.
saw
so
that, yeah.
shout out to
Yep.
that, man.
Yeah,
Free Cat Peasy.
Yeah, Free Cat
hell of a
Peasy.
start for music right there,
Dude, that song, yeah, Deli. My personal favorite. I know I got other good ones, but that you and Cat Peasy on that, the mixture, the beat, everything, that was a total package, bro.
Yeah, we did that in the studio together too, so that's probably like why it felt different. Also, he a super talented dude, man.
Do you think it's different?
Before we go on to the next song,
for it, Jim.
sorry about that,
No,
Jared.
go for
So before we go on to the next song, there's one thing I wanted to like get your take on things. So I'm sure you've had a mixture of working on songs with people in the studio, and then I'm sure you've had multitude of songs that you've done, probably like sending through emails and stuff like that. How do you compare the different 2 experiences creatively, and then which one do you like better?
I think it depends. Well, for me, I'm a very like independent worker, so like I do a lot of things out of my house, so it's a lot of private sessions. But when I do collab, what I find is that it depends on the people. Like I've been in sessions with a lot of people and we get nothing done. and then I've been in different sessions with other artists, and we get a lot done. So I think it just depends on the environment and the artist. But yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool to be in the studio with people, but I work really fast. And people have different, work ethics and work speeds. So for me, I get her done.
Let's go.
But the outside perspective, like collabing, it's always good. You always get better products. Like that's no question. No question.
Question, Drew.
Dope.
Jared.
Now you go for it. Got hours? You want to go into hours? Make hours?
Yeah.
Great
Hours
track.
make hours.
Hours make hours. And that one looked like that was shot up north. Was that Flagstaff or was that there was snow, so it was somewhere not in Phoenix.
That was an impromptu shoot with my guy Sound Vision Films. I love that dude, man, because he's just always down. Like, no matter what.
Have you worked with him a lot?
Yeah, like, we've been working for almost 10 years now. So that's like my brother. But, yeah, we're coming down from Gallup. I had a show up
Gallup,
in
New Mexico.
Yeah. And
A show in Gallup.
Yeah, man, that was super cool. The love is different out there. Like, they really love rap.
Really? Shout out Gallup, New Mexico. Huh?
Yeah, I said it on stage. I'm like, I've never felt anything like this. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, they really appreciate it. So, shout out Gallup. So, yeah, we were just coming back from there, and I'm like, yo, let's pull over. Let's do the Hours Make Hours challenge right now. And he's like, let's do it.
It seemed genuine. It seemed, what's the word we use, Jared?
Just authentic.
Authentic, man. And again, we talked about it a little bit ago. We love the video aspect. So, hey, we could listen to that song on Apple Music. We could listen on Spotify, but to give the visual for it.
Yeah.
Always adds to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Hours Make Hours. That's actually my homie Emmett Dupree's song.
Yep.
And he's super talented, super young guy. Shout out Emmett Dupree. That song's a hit. I believed it. That's why I rapped to it.
Hell yeah.
So.
Great vibe on that one. Go ahead.
You want to
Jay.
bounce around? What do you want to do?
Go ahead.
What do you
Yeah,
wanna do?
I
'Cause we
mean,
could do-
I got
we
my
could get-
list, but
Okay, let's just do same game. Let's do same game, and then
I
I
got-
got some deep cuts. I want to close out with some. I think some deep cuts from a little bit.
I got the 2K track on my next one. So, same game. I mean, listen, if you played basketball or you just like video games in general, you've been playing 2K since it came out. I mean, I can almost think back to think all the covers, man. What was that process like? Because, we know Cat Peasy, did it the year prior. So it's amazing to see back-to-back Arizona artists get a track
So awesome.
on that game, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
that alone in itself is something. But, like, I know you played the game growing up. So, like, what was that process like for you?
So I was in the studio like a year before that, and I had made a song, and it was called ISO. And one of my friends had told me, he's like, bro, they got a site. You can submit it, and you can get your song on 2K. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is definitely going on 2K. But I never submitted it. I don't know what. I was probably going through something, so I just never submitted it. But Capizzi got on, and then so the year after that, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go. I know how to make songs pretty good. So they send you a template or like a criteria to what they want the song to be about, what it can't have, what they needed, the tempo to be, different things like that, the subject matter. And for me, somebody who's done a song every day, like all you have to do is give me the recipe of what you want. So I'm going to cook it up
Game
for
over.
you. So call my producer, Bleak. Shout out Bleak. I'm like, yo, I'm finna get on this 2K. He's like, what you mean? I'm like, just trust me. Like, I'm
Just calling your shot.
I'm like, this is what I need. He made the beat. He left. I made the song. I mixed it, mastered it, submitted it from my room. Got the news in my room that I won. I was already telling people like, yeah, I'm gonna have a song on 2K.
Oh my God, what were people's reactions? I know
They
if you
did
told
not
that to Dahmer,
believe
we
it,
would
yeah.
freak out.
They
100%.
did not believe it. Like, what? How you gonna do that? I'm like, well, I entered this contest, and they're gonna pick the best person in each state, and I'm the best in this state, so I'm gonna win it.
Let's
and
go.
they're just like, you should be
Drew,
relaxed.
flick the lighter.
They're like, you should not, like, you're talking too soon. But for me, it wasn't that. It was just like, well, they told me what they wanted, and I did that, so I should win. Like, contrary to, so
You'd been coming up with your own recipes for a full year, basically,
Yeah,
and you're
like-
like, you just gave me a recipe to
Yeah,
follow? Are you
so-
kidding me? That's layup.
That's what I did, and it was a grueling like 6 months. Like, not for me, but for everybody else. And like they just didn't believe me. But I'm like, yeah, like I know I'm gonna win it. And then I got the news, and that was all she wrote.
You know we back like we never left. Come on now.
Man,
Yeah.
that was sick.
Man, amazing.
Same game.
Hometown. Hometown. Great visual.
Yeah.
Just want to point out though, what Dom and I were even talking about on the way over here. You know, you got I think over 5,000 views on that music video and 27,000 on the just the single version. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot, man. That's crazy. Great track. I just want to say you rep Phoenix and Arizona. You rep it really, really hard. There's no doubt where you're from.
Yeah.
It's prominent in the music, in your lyrics. It's
Yeah.
prominent in just I think in your interviews, just you talking. Like it's
Yeah.
really cool to see. Like totally a native to the bone. And for anyone I'm not a native, I've been out here a long time. For anyone that's been in Arizona a long time, you know how rare a native is.
All
And
the time.
It's
Right.
it's rare.
Yeah, so that was Hometown was actually the first song that ever came out how I planned it in my head. Like how I planned it here is exactly how that song came out, and I like loved it so much. I'm like, yo, this is perfect, cuz my whole thing was just like I wanted to represent it in a way that wasn't just like cheesy, like like something that you would want to listen to, like not just cuz it's Arizona, but it's like this is actually a good song.
Some like the Suns anthems.
Yeah, like some of those are cringeworthy, bro.
dude.
Like
Yeah,
shout out
nothing
to
like that, dude.
Shout out
Nothing
to
like
the-
that.
Shout out to the good ones, but some of those are cringeworthy. Like I said it, there it goes. I said it. So yeah, the visual, man, it was my guys, the Real Bros. Shout out to them. They just worked really hard, and I told them what I wanted, what the song meant to me, and like what it needed to display, and they just knocked it out the park, man. And yeah, I love that song. I love Hometown.
And it looked like you're with the homeboys. Like it looked like you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, look like fun.
yeah, dudes, guys being dudes. As
Yes,
we say.
exactly. Guys,
You
be
know?
dudes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was that was a site where I shot my very first music video, Whole Hood, and it's still on YouTube somewhere. But I just felt like taking it back there for Hometown, like it made sense, authentic, like you
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Few lines I want to pull out of there.
Yep.
Didn't even know he from Arizona. Why you think the flow always goes sauna? Dude, yeah. That one. And then I'm like Kobe with the ethic. You like Yeezy with the fashion.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
go.
so
That's how
I,
you make one not cheesy.
for me, and my friends are gonna hate me, but like I'm always pointing out like I'm just not the fashion dude. Like
That's
I'd
okay.
rather
You're
work
busy
hard,
working,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
busy
I'm
working.
just,
Listen.
I'm a simple dude. Like but you know they say you gotta look the part. But for me, I'm changing it. Like I'm just an everyday dude, bro. Like this
Deli
is-
every day, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
perfect,
It's
yeah.
part of the brand. So yeah, man. But the sauna line, like that always gets the crowd. Like I love,
Dude.
cause like when I say the Arizona part, they're like listening,
Yep.
and then when they get the sauna, it's like,
Yeah, they're
"Oh."
like, why do you think the flow always goes sauna? I was like,
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
You
it's-
felt some way on that.
exactly
They're
what
waiting
I'm
for
talking
the
about repping
punchline.
Arizona too. It's perfect, man.
Man,
Love that one.
it's a
What
great
you
one.
got, Dom?
Well, we got the Suns documentary of your
Awesome to watch.
performance. And just listen, I told Deli this, you know, I was a Suns season ticket holder. I took a break this year. The ticket prices are getting ridiculous. Phoenix Suns, listen, I had tickets in 2016 when we were the worst team in the NBA. And let me tell you, the prices, insane. But anyway, Deli, man, the
Yeah.
opportunity to perform
yeah,
during a Suns game.
yeah,
You're a Suns fan.
yeah.
I'd have to, I mean, I just gotta know something about the experience, man. That had to be something.
Yeah, so I always try to get a backstory so people don't think that things just happen. They do, but like they don't just happen. So that happened from, you know, being a good person, and I did a favor for a friend of mine, and he was already involved with the Suns, and he's just like, yo, I put your hat in for like this big opportunity with the Suns. I'll talk to you in a couple days.
Get
so
outta
I'm
here.
like,
Okay.
he didn't say what it was. I'm like, all right, cool, like whatever. So I get a call a couple days, and it's from the media director or whoever, and it's like, yo, we want to have somebody from Arizona perform at halftime. This guy called us and put your name in a hat, and you fit the criteria. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what? So what's even crazier with that is I believe in the law of attraction. So before that opportunity came, we had already needed to shoot a video for Same Game. And my boy John at Sound Vision, he was just like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, let's just go to like a basketball court. And he's like, bro, you got to start thinking bigger than that. Like, what's the craziest thing that you, and this is a true story, what's the craziest thing that you can think of? I'm like, I don't know, like shoot it at the Suns Arena, but like, how are we going to shoot it at the Suns Arena? Right? He's like, you just got to believe, bro. Like, you just got to believe. We'll figure out a way. And then 2 days later, I get the call like, hey, you want to perform at the Suns Arena? And I called him. I said, bro, you won't believe it just happened.
Oh my God.
And he was there. He shot all the visuals for that, and we manifested it, and it worked. So the Same Game video, that's where that came from.
Your man predicted it.
Yeah, man. Shout out John, bro.
It's crazy too. So like you talk about the times how it got harder towards the end of the 365 thing, and it's just like, look at all the fruits that came from that though, because you were ready. You know, I think they mentioned that in the video too, like when they were announcing you and stuff. And it's just like, that's what a thing to announce when they do it, right? That has to be one of the reasons that it appealed to them too. You know, it's not just that you're local.
Never thought
There's
of
plenty
it
of
that
local
way.
people, but it's just like that's exactly kind of what Gary Vee was talking about. You know, where it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, and that's not a sustainable pace. You can't just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep putting out a song a day until I make it. But that one thing, and that leads to your next thing, and now you're getting calls about movies, man. I mean, that's incredible. So like that grind absolutely paid off, and man,
Yeah, it
not
took a
many do
while.
that.
It took a while for me to see it like that, but yeah, cause I was depressed after the first year. So 2019, like it was a rough year. So I didn't appreciate it all, but like slowly but surely I started to see, and then going out in public and people like, yo, you're that dude who. It's like, oh, okay, here goes all the love and all the like, okay, I didn't know where you guys were at.
And then the pandemic hit. Yeah.
But yeah, and it really showed like what I meant to people and like all the inspiration that I gave to people, and there are millionaires and business owners, people that I aspire to be like, and they're just like, man, you helped me keep my business open. Like I thought about you every day when I woke up and did my, and I'm like,
wow.
cool, bro, like thank you, like I'm doing something right. So that's when it became bigger than myself, like when I started getting that feedback, and that sent me on a different journey. So
Worth it.
yeah.
So one of the things that I'm noticing about you is you value self-discovery rather than the outcome.
Absolutely. Like I would rather get better. Like I was telling a lot of people that the 365 was for me to get better as an artist, to get better with my pen and things like that, the process, things like that. Because the outcome is going to vary anyway. And I've been through a lot of my life to where it's just like, just enjoy the process. Just enjoy, getting there. The outcome's going to be what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could take that
This
approach
conversation
more
definitely
often.
exemplifies that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that guy. Man.
The ear guy.
Yeah, he listens. Hey, look.
He's our sniper.
Yeah.
Dom and I'll try to lay down suppressive fire for the most part, and then Drew will come in and.
I love that.
Well, just some things I'll just continue on with the doc. You're at Welcome Diner in South Phoenix. Again, Jared talked about you showing the city, showing local businesses. But man, the custom 365 jersey.
Oh yeah,
Clean,
what up?
dope,
clean,
bro.
dude, clean.
So
Dope, man.
You should have wore that on the show.
Yeah, man. I was yeah.
And they were saying you're not the fashion guy. Come on.
nah, that was me. Like I think that's just me always trying to be innovative and just try to do cool things that I like, not necessarily that other people like, but what I like. And that jersey's retired. Like I'm saving it for my son. Like people try to buy it, like all type of stuff. But it's like,
Really?
that's his. Like I don't even wear it, anymore. But yeah, they told me, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get you a jersey. What do you want it to say? And I was like, yo, can it say 365 on the back? They're like, you want 3 numbers? I'm like, can you do it? Like, you're asking me the wrong questions. Like, can you do that? And like, yeah, we'll pull it off. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, you don't.
Asking you shall receive.
Yep,
Let's
so
go.
Can't get
that's
it
where
if
the
you don't ask.
365 jersey came from.
Man,
Dude.
sick, bro. And just to cap it off, Suns got a dub that night.
Yeah, I was there. Like, I was the reason why. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Delhi was the reason.
So what's
He was a moral spirit.
yeah, like Damian Lillard, like I like that guy.
Dame time.
His trainer Phil Beckner, he is one of the sponsors at the high school that I coach at
Oh, wow.
Cortez High School. So we work with him and Phil Beckner, Be Better, Be Different. He's in Philly now working with those dudes. But yeah, man, he trains Dame. And
Man,
like
Wow.
he's gonna have Dame talk to our kids eventually. But yeah, man, I just have a lot of roots and ties and seeds like planted, and you never know when they're gonna sprout.
Dude, that's the approach, man. You just
Yeah.
put good stuff out there and it'll come back. I mean, you reap what you sow. As cheesy as it is, it's truth, man. Call it karma. Call it what you want. It's real.
And that
Facts.
contract Dame just got. Let me just. Yeah.
I like him. He's different. Like he's just work ethic wise. Like I'm not even talking about how he plays. Like the stories that I've heard from Phil behind the scenes. Like he's different.
Yeah. Dame time. All right. I got one. If
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
I need money.
Hey,
I need money. First off, the intro. I watched How High. I mean, I'm trying to think. It probably came out when I was in like early middle school, and I watched that movie constantly. Man,
classic.
it was one of my favorites. So I love that you started with that. And then
Yeah.
was that the Pete's Fish and Chips in Tempe off of University?
No way, man.
Is it Mesa?
No.
No way,
It's the one in
man.
Tempe.
No way, man. That's South Phoenix, man.
That's the South. Oh, okay. I thought because there was one by campus. But
Yeah.
remember,
Oh, yeah. There was one there. There's one in Mesa. Yeah.
We were trying to figure out.
the people. Well, it's the people from South Phoenix know like that's the only one you really go to
Okay.
eat at.
Oh, we need.
That's
see,
all.
I need to
I didn't know
know.
that they had one in Mesa and Tempe.
Yeah,
That's
man.
funny.
Right, practically on campus almost.
For those that don't know, if you're listening outside Arizona, this fish and chips is so good that there's bumper stickers and people put it on their car proudly, like very
It's
proudly.
crazy.
Yes.
So yeah, How High, that was a movie. I remember I got to see it with my cousins, my older cousins, on like the premiere. So it was like 11 midnight maybe. I had school the next day. Yeah, that was bad, but I got to see that. So I just remember that scene, and I was just like, yo, the movie thing. Like I love movies, and it's like let me put that at the beginning, call it the song, and then I was just on a like. I don't know what you want to call it. Just like this little trend where I was doing videos at restaurants and I was just eating, like showing my favorite restaurants. And we shot it there. People loved it. Pete's shouted us out, and then they also sent us merch, right?
Oh,
They
nice.
sent us a bunch of stuff like beanies and T-shirts and all of this stuff, right? So this is where it gets crazy. So Mr. Pete or Great Pete, whatever you want to call the owner that started Pete's,
Great Pete.
the great grandpa Pete,
dude. I love that.
his great grandson hits me up and say, yo, I just saw the video. I thought it was amazing. Anytime you come to our location on like Indian School, 44th Street, get whatever you want. Show him this message. Like Pete was my grandpa. I was just like,
Unlimited-
Oh my
What?
gosh! You
Unlimited
had like a
Pete's Fish and
code.
Chips?
You had like a code, dude.
no, he's like, just show him this
Just
and
show
tell
him
him
this?
who I am. Like, and they'll let you get whatever you want. I was just like, wow, like who
The
knew?
lifetime ticket.
Yo,
Oh my
the
gosh,
Pete's.
that's crazy, dude.
and
Unlimited
that's-
Pete's, bro.
What
That's
a place
my
to get hooked
mom's-
up out here.
That's my mom's favorite restaurant, like ever. So like I did that for her, and she was just like, "What? Like, what are you doing out here? Like, what are
Who
you
are you?
doing? Like the stuff that I'm telling y'all, my parents have no clue. Like,
Oh, man.
they have no clue. Because for me, I think like they just don't understand. They don't know who Gary Vee is. They don't know who. Like,
Yeah,
they don't-
yeah.
So I just like they know I'm
shit.
somebody, but they don't understand.
Well, we know you're somebody. Okay, I want to get into Imagine That. So I love a lot of your songs, but this is probably my favorite.
Those are good verses on there.
Dude, I was just, that's the note I have is I think that is, and this is saying something. I think it's one of your strongest lyrically, and it's like from the opening bars. What is it? I'm becoming an idol. I just missed recital. You dead on arrival. That info was vital, I think is what it was. Dude, I heard that, bro. That was,
Give me a sound effect.
dude. We're talking about like, so we have some within range metrics, and one of them is like pauses per song.
Yeah.
That one was off the charts. I didn't have an exact count, but dude, I literally paused it right there and had to go back and just like hear that again. You feeling it mainly outside of Chase Field, I think.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. What was the inspiration for that one? Where'd it come from? There's a few more lines I want to get into, but I want to hear a little bit about it from you.
So that sample, like you already know, like when you hear that Wu-Tang, that woo,
Oh.
like you gotta
Yep.
or Nas rather, you gotta come with it. So that was my guy Church. That was on like this little EP that I was gonna do, but I ended up not doing it. So I just finished that song, and I was just in my bag during that time, man. Like I don't know, those bars are crazy. Like I remember the song now. Maybe if you have
5
some
years
other
ago,
bars, like,
for other bars,
Yeah.
okay, I got
Let's
it.
get it, Jared.
I'm from Phoenix, but that don't mean I won't be the coldest. I
Yeah.
don't hear that. I love this one. I don't need exposure. I really need closure. That's a big one, dude.
Man.
That's
Yes.
that's deep.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
knowing what we know.
that was definitely during the time where people were like telling me like how good I was and things like that, but it wasn't fulfilling to me at that point. It was more so like I got trauma that I haven't, figured out, or like things that I'm still dealing with, and it's not even allowing me to appreciate your guys' compliments. So like I knew like exposure isn't what you need. It's what you thought you needed at this point, but you don't. Like you really need closure, bro. So yeah.
What a message, man. I love that one. And then I think this one might have been my favorite. Just made me laugh. I married the money. These dudes trying to be best men.
Yeah.
I was like, I heard a lot of married to the money, married to the game, married to the street lines, and I was like, all right, what you got there? Like they're trying to be best men. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I've
they're
not
trying to
heard
get
that
close
before.
to you, like as close as they
Dude,
probably
man.
can.
Yeah, but exactly. It's like it's funny, it's on point, and it rhymed. Like it was awesome, dude. I love that. So I love that one. Was it 5 years ago? I think. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Thank you, man. That's awesome.
dude.
Nice,
that one.
Jared.
That one hit me. That one hit different.
Heck yeah. What about Menace Rodman?
What a name.
First
dude.
off, the name alone. The name
name,
alone.
dude.
Listen, we just had in the Within Range group chat, we
Yeah.
literally started naming all these like the best sports names. It was like Nomar Garcia Para.
Yeah.
There was like all these names. I saw
Mookie Blaylock.
Yeah, Mookie Blaylock. A lot of these names. I saw Menace Rodman. I'm like
Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah, Ichiro.
But that Menace Rodman, just the title alone, man. And that was, if I'm saying it correctly, produced by, is it Lano or Lano?
Yeah, Lano Beats.
Have you worked with him before?
Yeah, that's my homie. He did a lot of the stuff that's on the challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got connected with him through
Arizona
one of my other friends.
connect?
He's from Atlanta, I believe, but he just moved out here and super talented dude. Always there when I need him. So, yeah,
Man.
No shortage of talent in the A. We're happy to have him then.
yeah. Shout out Lano.
And of course, my favorite aspect of it is you shot that on the court. You were, I think one thing, I told you I play ball and stuff, and so having that aspect, and you did the 2K soundtrack, you dropped lines about playing ball. I just
Yeah.
like that you showed that aspect off, man. And it seems like you've shot a couple times at a court, more than once. So it's
Yeah.
like
You
can
get
tell-
it in almost. I feel like
and a lot,
half
man.
the video.
It's
dude,
like
yeah.
that's your cover, and then you're a coach too, and man, it's just
Yeah.
hey, ball is life for those who know.
You gotta. That's where my competitive spirit comes from. But the Menace Rodman thing, that for one, it was because the hook was saying like I'm a menace or
Yes.
whatever. But I told you guys outside, like I've been editing my videos. And one thing I learned about like directors, like they don't like the editing part. Like they love to shoot. Everybody loves to shoot. Let's shoot. But nobody likes to do the gritty type things.
Drew.
Like Dennis
Shout out to your
Rodman,
guy.
right? Like Dennis Rodman. So I'm like,
That's so true.
I
Man,
need
perfect.
like
That's a
a
good-
editor
oh.
name. So like at the end of the video, I think it's that one. It would say like edited or directed by Menace Rodman. Cause like in my head, like I'm gonna be the guy who's editing everybody's project, like the stuff that they don't want to do. I'm gonna be in the
Dude.
trenches, like Dennis Rodman.
Drew,
Like,
can I get a bomb? Drew, give me
That's
a bomb,
incredible.
please.
but I'm gonna be a menace. So like they're gonna call me Menace Rodman. Like
That's within range. I'm sorry. You know how the Leonardo DiCaprio's like when he points, he's like,
Eating cereal from that.
yeah, that's
Here I come.
this.
See, that's exactly what we're trying to do on this show, dude. It's just like you could hear that in just as it is, hearing it. It's
Yeah.
it's valuable. It's awesome. It just makes it 10 times better when you get to know that, man. It's
Cool.
purposeful and
yeah, I
Love
try
that.
to do
Love
everything
that.
with purpose and intent for sure.
matters.
Wow. All right, I got another one, but you got one.
Yeah, that's this one kind of quick, but don't leave. Do that intro. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was dying.
Different vibe
dude.
on that one too.
Real
Yeah, that was my
screen
first time
Yeah.
like putting out a singing record.
Okay.
My best friend Markel Delwan, he produced it, and for that, like that was kind of like when Kendrick and Cole did High Power, cause like for what Arizona is, like we're kind of like those guys. So, but everybody was expecting a rap record, but I'm like, I'm gonna try something different. And then I had just went to Vegas, and I thought of like that crazy idea, like you shouldn't go to Vegas, like make it about that. And so yeah, that's where Don't Leave came from.
And then I think you got the part there, fucking with your best friend.
We didn't know what the sample was saying. So like
That's why it was weird. It was all hidden there. I had to like, okay, that was another buzz off. I was like, is he fucking with your best friend? Or something like that.
like everybody hears it differently, but we're like, we just gonna run with like, is it for real? It sounds like for real on there. We don't know who it is. Like, but yeah, that's Don't Leave. I think that song is underappreciated. Like, that's a good song.
Yeah, I love that one.
Somebody else might need to sing it or something. I might sell it, but yeah, Don't Leave is a good song.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
The Guy. I love that you shot that in front of the Orpheum Theater.
How did you even see The Guy? Yes, that song is
How did I not see The Guy?
That was produced by this kid in Toronto. He just found me
From the Six? Six.
Yeah, that's a
That sample, Drew.
he hit me up and he was like, yo, I found out about you. He sent me that beat. And me and John, Sound Vision Films, we was like, hey, let's guerrilla style this. And he's like, I know this place. It's like, I'm going to put the Suns jersey on.
Yep, you had it on. Hey, it's
But
retired
yeah.
now, but ladies and gentlemen, at one point in time, you could have saw him with it on.
Yeah, I really like the verses in that song.
I got a bar. It was like, it was nights when I didn't sleep at all. It was nights when I eat it all, but the struggle taught me to sleep it off.
Yeah.
Gritty.
Yeah.
As you
Gritty.
said.
We talked
as
about
you
it
said,
earlier.
dude. Gotta be gritty out here. The weather's trying to kill you. The plants are prickly.
We
All
got
our
scorpions,
bugs are poisonous, dude.
rattlesnake.
Yeah, there's some nights where you couldn't eat and you just had to sleep it off and then wake up the next day.
Damn.
Man,
A lot of people don't understand that.
They don't understand it. But it's cool. It builds character.
yeah, always. That's all it does.
Character comes with the cost, but worth
Yeah,
it, I think, in the
absolutely.
long run.
The Guy, that's awesome.
Drew, I think it looks like you got one.
When I'm hearing these different things, one of the things that I'm kind of starting to notice, and you seem to exemplify these three things of when it comes to Arizona artists, or at least that we've kind of, brought on, is you need grit, some type of adversity, and then work ethic. It seems like those are the main three attributes I've noticed in everybody that we've interviewed all has.
Nice. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, getting the outsider perspective, Drew, being in the region of Chicago, man. It's a good perspective.
Yeah. And to make something, light, there's two things that I've kind of now become like more excited about. As somebody that's not from Arizona and not familiar with a lot of places, I know I can go on this show literally to get great recommendation of artists, great recommendation of food places, and places to go.
Pete's Fish and Chips.
Pete's.
Go with Deli if you can go, Drew.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
he's got
for
the
real.
hookup.
He'll give you the Guy Fieri tour.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah. Real quick before we get another song, I just want to mention that is it the top 5 mixtape?
Yeah. Top five.
Yeah. Talk to us about that project.
Okay, so top 5 came from I was in like a frustrated place with Arizona because I'm just a competitor. So I was like, man, they're not talking about me enough. Like, and I feel like I'm at least top 5, like in the city, like at least. So I'm like, I'm gonna use my basketball, mentality and just do what I gotta do, but I'm gonna do it in my way. So I like dropped a song and a video like every day for like a whole week or like Monday through Friday or whatever. And the cover art for each song was like my top 5 like favorite players. So like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant,
That's
Yes,
awesome.
AI.
Very awesome.
Vince Carter, like.
Oh, Vince Carter.
So yeah, that's where top 5 came from, and it was just me like going on the tear, doing what I do, like just put my head down and I work. And just those ideas of things like that, it's like it's cool to see things come to life, and I just like creating. So it's top 5.
Man.
Top 5.
Yeah, so I'm gonna break away from like the actual songs, but kind of get more into your process, because one of the things that I noticed is a lot of the songs that you do come from personal experiences, but because of the way that you've cultivated your creative output, it seems more methodical. Is that kind of a fair assessment, or do you feel like it just comes from different places and you kind of just take it however it comes?
It's more so, well, the way I write music is the beat. Like I always gotta pick the beat first, and the beat gives me a certain vibe, and I just have like a bank in my head of like different experiences and like different things that I can pull from depending on the mood or depending on like how much I want to tell. Like there's different stories that I have that I'm waiting to tell. So it just kind of comes and goes. Sometimes I still struggle with if I want to be too personal or give too much. So it just kind of it kind of comes and goes.
That's good. It seems like you've developed kind of like a boxer. You've developed combinations that work for you in certain things. Where if there's too much tension to you in the creative process, then maybe it's not the right combo to choose from.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
This guy asks great questions.
That's true. See your guy.
Jared. Let's hit it, bro.
Yeah, probably the last one I want to talk about, but great song, The Upside. I like that. You filmed that in Hollywood?
Yeah.
I saw the chicken and waffles in it too. Was that Roscoe's?
Yep, that was Roscoe's.
I was gonna say that place got some bad publicity recently.
Yeah, recently.
R.I.P. P&B Rock, but
yeah,
I was
at the one in Hollywood. That was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing the Hollywood sign. Once again, my dude John, man, he's just always trying to expose me to like different things. He's like, man, I can take you to the Hollywood sign. It's like, all right, let's do it. The Roscoe's thing, it was the same venture of me like going places and eating, and the idea didn't come together how we wanted it to, but the idea was I would be in LA one day, shoot the video there, and then we would drive back to Phoenix that same day and then go to Lolo's Chicken and Waffles out here.
Oh, okay.
And I would have them both in a video, and we were going to do like a taste test. Like I had like a skit style and whatever, but something happened to where when we got back, first of all, we had been up all night, so John was tired, and I think we lost the footage or something. So we don't have the footage from out here, so we ended up just having to use the Hollywood. It still came out cool, but yeah, we had like a crazy idea for that. Because everybody wants to know, like, is Lolo's better than Roscoe's? So for me, it's like, I'm going to try them both in the same day. And then really,
That's tough to do. That's tough to do.
And really tell you guys. So, but you know, whatever.
That's when you're on the Jay-Z and you can just jet back and
Right.
forth, and then it's an hour and it's just breakfast to lunch or lunch to dinner, you know?
So you've been traveling a lot. What you talking about me?
Yeah. Not on my jet. I was crammed in there. Okay, you totally reminded me, and I'm shame on me for not having it in the notes. There's another track you filmed it, and talk about funny intros, dude. That you filmed at a Chinese place in South Phoenix.
Oh,
there.
the guy walks by.
Yes.
Oh,
Dude, and the way you were like, you had him talking, and then you just put like the most ye olde proper English, dude. And it was just like, I don't even like. It's like I don't even enjoy this particular style of cuisine, and he's over there. He's like, man, fuck this shit. It was
So
fun.
yeah,
It
that
was so good. If you have not seen that, go watch that right now. You need to laugh. It was
Big
so
Mad.
good and a great song.
So yeah, that was Tam's
Mad, that's what it was.
in South Phoenix, a huge staple. Like
yeah.
grew up eating that place, and we just wanted to be funny, man. Me and John, we crack jokes all day, but yeah, that was my idea to have them just like mad about like the service, because a lot of people complain about the service there. So I'm like,
is subpar.
let's just put it out there. Like, let's just say what everybody's thinking, right? So then we're editing the video, and then John is like, what if we just like translated this in like the most proper way? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then he starts saying that, and I'm like, that is the funniest thing I've ever. I was like,
great.
we absolutely have to do that.
We appreciate
That
comedy.
needs to be a segment, dude. That needs to be a segment of like if you did that week, dude. It was absolutely hilarious, man. Like what does he walk back? He's like, "Are you sticking to the grind of your endeavors or something?" I mean, he says the grind, but he's like, "Are you continuing to persist with your many endeavors or something?" And he's like, "Hey, man, you still say what do you?"
How the music come, man?
Oh my god, it was so funny. It just seemed so organic, dude. Like, dang, yeah, I can't believe I didn't get that one in there. I got so excited I forgot to write that one down. But
Shout out Big Mad.
dude, yeah, great track too. But oh man, that was a good one. Glad we didn't miss that.
Man, what about the V the Ruler track?
Oh yes.
So real quick, V the Ruler, another name that I've been hearing. I would say maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
My ears been ringing out to him, so I know he's an artist. You know, that reps AZ. He's making some noise. Definitely want to get into that song, but also your relationship with V.
Yeah, V a good friend of mine. I met him a long time ago through a mutual friend, and we did a song together. And it's just been like a mutual respect. He's a top tier guy. I'm a top tier guy. You know. I just reached out to him during the 365. Like, man, this is what I need. Like, I really respect what you're doing. I think he's an incredible rapper.
Yeah.
Like, if not the best, one of the best
That verse goes hard,
for sure.
super hard.
Like, so yeah, I just called in a favor, and he came through and blessed me, and yeah, real good dude, man. Works really hard. Like you said, you heard like 3-4 years. Like, he really
Yeah.
has put in the work. So yeah, that's where that came from. And
At the beginning of the video there, it starts out 363 days later. So my takeaway is that's right at the end of the run. And you're
Correct.
basically just saying, I just did something that absolutely none of you have done. Don't
Yeah.
speak my name if you're not going to do that.
one
Wow,
that you,
Jared.
I'm glad that you got it. I
Oh,
didn't even have to
100%.
explain
Dude,
it.
I see
Like,
that.
dude,
363
give me
days.
the-
I was
give me
like,
the
all
rap.
right, there's
I
our
didn't even
man.
have to
That's the
explain
Jared.
it.
That's the A1 Jared.
You were not quite Delhi every day at that point. You had two to go, but
So yeah, that that last week, those songs were like really special. I was only putting out features with like people who were really meaningful to Arizona hip hop. So like, there was a young guy, Jalopy Bungus. Like, he was really running things, and he still is amazing. I really love Jalopy. For the younger dudes, I had iRock on there. He's the guy who produces all the movies that I'm in. Sincerely Collins, like, super
Sincerely
good friend of
Collins,
mine.
another,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So like, I was just doing that last week. I wanted to go out strong. I don't even think people appreciated that, but it was just like me really like trying to go out with a bang. So, and
that one.
that's where Don't Speak on My Name came from. And people always mad because like I didn't have like a verse like that, but I was just like, bro, like, do you hear how good this guy's rapping? Like, he did it. Like, he rapped.
You presented it to us.
Yeah,
and
like, that's what I wanted it to be. Like, I didn't need to rap. Like, he did an amazing job. Like, that verse is.
Did they not see the beginning? 363 days. Had he not done enough? He hadn't
It's
done
never
enough for you
enough.
at that point? Come
It's
on.
never, I'm
When-
learning that.
come
It's never
on.
enough. People ask, when's the album? When is this? Like, I'm sure you haven't heard all of those songs. Like,
Yeah, go back around a few times.
Man.
but I get it.
Yeah.
And there's new music coming.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And we just got a few more, and then I want to get into that. But I just want to take a note that, you know, you talked about, you know, V and his, you know, his impact on the scene. The fact that what I would consider two powerhouses in Arizona independent artists teaming up on a track,
Yeah.
I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
And you and V on the same track, it's like the same way I get with you and Cat Peasy on a track, because I know he's special.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, it's you know, you guys as artists that when I see the collaboration, I'm like, this is what is gonna put Arizona on the map like it should be.
Yeah, actually, my dude John, he just was talking to me about that the other day. And like with New York, like back in the day, you would see all those top tier rappers in each other's videos and in the pictures and
Yes.
things like that. To where when you look back now, you have that fear of missing out. Like, dang, I wish I was there. He was like, once you're able to create, and I'm giving this away. Oh my God. Once you're
go.
able to create that and have people having FOMO, like, man, do you see who was there? V was there. Merkums was there. Sincerely was
Merkums.
there. Like,
Merkums.
Shout
do
out
you
Merkums.
see-
Shout out Merkums.
do you, like, they have to feel that, but if you guys are all separated and they kind of see you guys, it's like it's not the same effect. But he's like, that's what New York did, so you guys are right.
Giving out free game on the pod.
Let's go. One more thing before we get into what you got coming, Deli, is "Dying to Breathe." Almost like I got the bigger picture, the song Lil Baby
Lil
did.
Baby.
Yeah, I know you had, I think, done this prior to that song coming out, because that one's more newer from Baby. But I definitely got you know, similar themes for those, and that was the song that Baby actually, Lil Baby performed at the Grammys.
Yeah,
That was the one song he did. So
yeah, that was really like good to see and hear from him. I was shocked for one. But yeah, Dying to Breathe, that I had actually, and it's crazy, I had actually wrote that song like a year before I even did that video, but everything still was relevant. And I had a day, because I didn't like watch different videos and stuff where people get, you know, killed online. Like, I stay away from that stuff. But one day I'm like, you know, let me just see it. So I sat there for about an hour. It's crazy that it took an hour. And I just watched it all, man. I watched it uncut, and I just took all my emotions, and I'm like, I'm gonna write this song with this. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. And that's where that came from. And shot the video, very short notice, but I just felt it. I was just like, I gotta get this out. Like, people didn't really hear this. Like, I gotta show them. So that's where Dying to Breathe came from. Like, I love that song.
man,
1000%.
it's a real one. Deli, man, it's been an honor. Again, we appreciate you coming on this platform. This is one that, like I said, when I heard the Curve It track, when I got the list of the top Arizona artists, and then we dug in and did our homework, we're like, this is a guy we want on our show. So, man, thank you. But please tell us what's next, what you got coming on, and what you're working on.
Yeah, so everybody know I took a little hiatus, but the boy is back. I got a ton of new music coming. Finna link up with Sound Vision Films again, give you guys a lot of visuals. We just got a new focus, man. I got a new direction that I'm taking, looking out for the youth, looking out for the younger generation. Coaching varsity basketball at Cortez High. Come through, catch a game.
We will.
Let's do it. We'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be live. Yeah, man, and just going up, man, and trying to help people as much as I can. So, like I always tell people, if you need something, man, DM me. I'll respond. Like, if you're having a bad day, like, I'm the guy. Like, just hit me up. Like, I'll make time for you if I can. And that's it, man.
Jeez, that's so valuable. Wow,
Man.
that can't be understated. Doesn't kill me.
Drew and Jared, any last words?
I just want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank you for replying to our DM. Replying to our DM. And yeah, man, the stories you gave us. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing, the stories from what was it? Losing it here. Curve It. Thank you for telling us, man, sharing all those deep stories. Yeah, man, we appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise.
Drew, what you got?
Man, I just need to get back and keep fucking working. I'm not working hard enough, apparently.
I feel that, bro.
This man had the nerve to do, one song every day for 365 days, but then on top of that, still had a life to live, and then did all the other endeavors that, he got himself into. And the fact that he took a little bit of a hiatus, no, that wasn't a hiatus. That was just you hitting the gym again. Because now this time nobody else is
I
watching.
need that.
That was a workout you needed to take a break from, man.
I'll be hard on myself, but no, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah, Deli, listen, we appreciate you, man. Officially episode 22. It's been an honor. We're going to keep up with you, your career, everything you got going. This is a relationship that is not ending here.
Not at
all. Man, like if any events you got, any shows you got, anything that we could be a part of, man, as this platform, and anything we do to help push you along that much more, we're willing to do that, man. So
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
appreciate you, bro.
It's an honor, man. Thanks for coming on.
Drew.
Outro music, Drew.
Hold on, slow down, wait a minute, found my own sound. And a way to make them listen on the road now. Now you wanna pay attention, I know, yeah, oh I know, oh. They gotta make that to a place of mine that don't need validation. I just spend my time focused on my creation. It's amazing, can't you tell? Leveled up from all these hills, learned to